Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are going up in the Cliffhanger Cup against a subscriber, Chicago Kev, so thank you so much for the battles. He is using a team of Umbreon, Medicham, Togekiss, Lantern, Venusaur, and Noctowl, and my team is going to consist of Vigoroth, Tropius, Clefable, Lantern, Sableye, and Skarmory. So let's see how we do and let's see how these battles go. So I'll be doing more Cliffhanger battles because that seems like what most of you are interested in, and so am I. I love the Cliffhanger format, but right now we have my Skarmory against his Medicham, so of course we're going to allow this power up punch to go off, and we CPM tie, so I'm going to get off a Sky Attack, which will force a shield, and then I'll switch into my Vigoroth. He does hit us with a power up punch. I will block this, and we're going to go ahead and get off that body slam easily because of how fast Vigoroth does charge up. Doing a lot of damage. Well, not doing too much to it. He does get off his charge move. I will let Vigoroth go down right now. And we are going to bring in my final Pokemon, which is that Skarmory, and then he brings in his Venusaur, and yeah, that's going to be game. The reason I switched out from Skarmory into Vigoroth is because I wanted to preserve my life, my Skarmory's life or health for that Venusaur in the end, because I knew Skarmory would be able to beat Venusaur. So we do go ahead and take this game. I actually have an Electrike quest that we were working on. Didn't get a shiny though, unfortunately. But we're going to go ahead and begin the next game. It's a Lantern mirror match, and I'm just going to stick at it, and so is he, I guess, stay around. And I do get off my Thunderbolt before he gets off his, so let's see if he decides to shield this, as he does not. So we're not going to go ahead and shield this either, because we could definitely take that Thunderbolt, and it's basically a race to see who gets to the next Thunderbolt, and we're actually able to do so. So if he hasn't shielded, he will faint, but he does go ahead and shield that, and I guess he's charging up energy, or I thought that for a moment he was trying to faint me down, but he decides to go for the Thunderbolt. I will let this go through and allow my Lantern to die, and then I bring in Tropius against his Lantern, and he does have another Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, wasn't able to finish him off, but I do allow it to go through. And we wait to see what his final Pokemon is, and it's going to be that Noctowl. Not final Pokemon, but his next Pokemon. We hit him with an Aerial Ace, and then we pull the switch into Skarmory, because Skarmory definitely beats Noctowl, because Skarmory does resist all of its moves. It resists Sky Attack, even resists Psychic. So, doesn't resist Nightshade, I guess, but I rarely see a Noctowl with Nightshade. Anyway, we do go ahead and finish off his Noctowl, and we are up a shield, so that's definitely good for us. And he brings in his Medicham. I do decide to shield this. I figured I would be able to get to 2 Sky Attacks, so one is going to burn the shield. At least that's what I thought. So we do go ahead and burn that shield, and then I pull the switch into my Tropius, because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get to another Sky Attack, and I just wanted to do as much damage as possible. He actually gets off a move against us. I do allow this to go through, so he does feint our Tropius. I could have blocked that and then feinted it down with Tropius, but I decided not to, and we bring in Skarmory. Maybe I should have done it the other way, but either way, we won the game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, jumping into the third game, we do begin with Clefable, and he does begin with Medicham. Now, Clefable is a fantastic Pokemon, or Charm uses are fantastic in general, in my opinion. I love Charm. But anyway, he switches into Venusaur, so we're going to pull the switch into a direct counter, which is going to be that Skarmory, and we could just farm up Venusaur all day long. We don't have to use any charge moves on it. I mean, I guess technically these Frenzy Plants are adding up in damage, but it doesn't matter because we charge up a load of energy and we're able to fire off a Sky Attack. He actually does have the Lantern, so that was good on his end to have the Lantern. We do go ahead and fire off another Sky Attack, getting an excellent. So even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, it does add up, and we actually get off another Sky Attack. So as I said, he might be trying to farm us down. That's totally fine, because look at all that damage to that Lantern. Plus we still have 2 shields. So we're going to bring in Clefable, and I will go ahead and block this. And again, Clefable, it doesn't matter if he has 2 shields left, because you're not using it for the charge moves, you're using it for Charm. And look at this. I mean, we're going to go ahead and block this. We didn't have to. I mean, we would have survived that power up punch, but we block it anyway, just to finish him off. And we actually knock him out, and he still has 2 shields left thanks to Clefable. I love using Clefable. I really do. Or Charm in general, as I said. But for the next game, we do begin with Vigoroth. He does begin with his Lantern, so this is definitely a favorable matchup for us. We do have that Bulldoze. I do decide to go for Bulldoze, hoping he would think that I was trying to bluff him, and I guess that's what happened because he does not block that. He does get off a Thunderbolt, but I will go ahead and block this one so we stay as healthy as possible, and then we could just finish him off with counter damage. And now he goes ahead and switches into Noctowl, so I click on that Body Slam, and he's not going to go ahead and block this. We actually get to another Body Slam, which is really good for us, and I believe that he does shield this one. Yeah, he does go ahead and shield that one. It wouldn't have knocked him out, but it would have done a lot of damage. We actually get to a third Body Slam, and he's trying to charge up energy. He probably didn't think we would get to a third one, but we take both of his shields thanks to Vigoroth, so another powerful option for this cup. We do bring in Clefable, and I decide to block this. Now, I knew at this point he had 2 Sky Attacks ready, but at least we blocked one of the damage. If we took both of them, we would have survived, but barely. He would have been able to finish us off with fast moves, so at least we are able to survive. And now he brings in Togekiss, and that actually knocks us out with Charm, but it's okay because we bring in Tropius, and he will hit us with a charge move. Let's see what it's going to be. It will be that Ancient Power, but because of how bulky Tropius is, we can easily survive that, and then we could fire off an Aerial Ace and knock out Togekiss, so we do go ahead and win that one. So it was another good game, good game. Yeah, but what I love about Charm in general is you can feint down their first Pokemon, not all the time, but a lot of the times, and then you click on your charge move, and the Pokemon you're using, let's take Clefable for example, already did its job. So whether or not they use a shield, you either take a shield. As you can see now, I'm going to go ahead and fire off the Meteor Mash, click on it immediately, and he either burns a shield or he takes damage. He does decide to use a shield, but Clefable already did its job because it knocked out the first Pokemon. Plus, we also take a shield. So, I'm not saying it always works out like that, but I absolutely love using Charm. You know, some situations, obviously, against Poison types, you're not going to bode well. You know, I do like using it. But anyway, we have a Skarmory right now against his Medicham and trying to get to a Sky Attack. He does get off a Power Up Punch against us, but one thing you have to keep in mind is he has no shield, so this Sky Attack is going to be able to absolutely destroy Medicham. He does bring in his Noctowl, but again, Skarmory does resist these Sky Attacks, so we could definitely take them. Trying to get to a Sky Attack of my own, we do get to it, so we're going to fire one off, and then I'm going to I tried to pull a switch, but I guess it was a CPM tie, so we were not able to do so, but that is okay because we just have to bring in Lantern and just finish it off with Water Gun. So we do go ahead and win this one. So we're going to jump into yet another one, beginning with Clefable. He actually leads with Venusaur, so this is definitely, as I was saying, not a good matchup for us. So I do switch into Tropius. Now, I knew his team, and anything he switched into, besides, I guess, Noctowl or Togekiss, I don't know. I mean, it depends what he had in the back, but he decides not to switch, which tells me he doesn't have a good answer to Tropius, which is definitely good news for me. And we're going to go ahead and take this attack. It is that Sludge Bomb. So we'll just try to finish him off with fast moves, Air Slash, and we are able to do so. So we have an Aerial Ace and we have a Leaf Blade. So I do go ahead and fire off the Leaf Blade to take the shield. I figured we would take the shield and then we get off an Aerial Ace against his Medicham. So that's good for us, and then we just, you know, go to town. We actually get off another Leaf Blade. I was not expecting to get off this Leaf Blade, but I guess because of how bulky Tropius is and how much we resist it, we were able to, and that's why he didn't switch out Venusaur, because of what he had in the back. So Tropius is definitely helping us out that game. It could have went terribly wrong for us if he had the Noctowl, but that's okay because we have the Clefable and we're able to fire off this Meteor Mash, which won't knock it out, but that's okay because we're able to finish him off with Charm. So we actually do go ahead and win this one as well. So good game. We're going to jump into another one, beginning with Clefable again, because I love leading Clefable. Doesn't mean I always lead Clefable, I just think it's a really good lead. It depends on the team composition as well, though. And we're going to go ahead and block this Thunderbolt, just because we don't want to take it. I believe we could have survived that. but barely, and then he would have finished us off with Water Gun. But we are able to finish him off before he's able to get to another Thunderbolt, which is good for us. And we do have the energy, so I do decide to go for Dazzling Gleam. Wrong charge move, I should have went for Medium Mash, but it doesn't matter because he blocked it anyway. But again, I didn't know what he had in the back, and we actually do a decent amount of damage. I do allow him to farm up. I didn't switch out, and that's because I have Skarmory in the back, so even if he farms up energy for multiple Frenzy Plants, it doesn't really matter. He switches it into Noctowl, and Skarmory definitely has a good matchup against Noctowl and Venusaur. But I'm going to pull a switch into Vigoroth because I want to keep that Skarmory as healthy as possible for the Venusaur. And I know I could just use shields here. It doesn't really matter. Once I get rid of that Noctowl, we're going to win the game from Skarmory against his Venusaur. So it doesn't really matter. We're just going to take this Sky Attack, and we can easily take it. And he could charge up all the energy in the world with Venusaur. Doesn't really matter because we're going to be able to finish him off with Skarmory. But let's see if we can finish him off with Vigoroth. We actually are able to finish him off with Vigoroth. I was not expecting that. I was expecting to have to finish him off with Skarmory, but that's okay. Way to go, Vigoroth. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. See you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.